Nicco Annan plays Uncle Clifford in the new Starz series P-Valley. I'm Matt Noble at Gold Derby. Here to ask you, Nicco, in the Pynk Club, there's lots of rules. Do you have any rules as an actor that you follow?
Okay, come on with a random question out the gate, Matt. That's how you feeling.
Yeah.
The only rule I have really talk and listen.
Yeah.
Talk and listen. I treat people with respect. I expect them to do the same for me. But yeah, as an actor, basically pretty much just talk and listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In your character in the show, Uncle Clifford, he projects a lot of confidence at times, but in the series we also see some vulnerability from his character. How do you balance those two elements?
I would say I balance it, one, by the fact in and of itself that Uncle Clifford as a character uses the pronouns she and her. Being gender fluid as the character allows for that balance of masculinity and femininity, because the concept of the character really came out of the notion of what could a person be like if they accepted all of their femininity and all of their masculinity. And I'm a gay man, and being able to play a character that is on the LGBTQIA+ spectrum, as an artist, as a trained artist, as a artist that grew up in a time where characters like this didn't exist, especially on TV and film in this kind of way. They were definitely pushed in the background, and peripheral type of characters. To play someone in my culture that is such a pillar, it is an honor. It is an honor. And I do that just literally with balance. We all are in in flux, in life. All the times that we're going on right now, it's like, too much stress. I need a little relief. How you do that? And I think about the same thing when I think about the vulnerability and the aggression. That's how she survives. That's how Uncle Clifford survives. Someone from the South, especially here in Southern America, and the Black Southern culture, to have those kinds of parameters put around you, and to be able to dream and see beyond it is a gift, and it's like a superpower. So that's how I do it.
And one of the big themes of the show is power and authority and things like that. How do you think that relates to your character?
I think power would be equated to me to agency. I think Uncle Clifford really, being all that she is, gets to stand in the doorway, literally the doorway of the Pynk, but the doorway of these people's lives, these women that are in the club and other members of the marginalized community that are in the club, whether that are veterans, from the war, that then have come back from war and they're looking for work in the States. And it's like, well, where are they going to work? If they have a specific level of trauma or PTSD. I think about young urban children, kind of like the DJ that is in the club, 16, and you're 16, yet you're running a club for all these grown people. That is something that is it's known in the culture to be able to keep young kids off of the street. And also it speaks to the nurturing quality that Uncle Clifford has of feeding the youth, giving them a home. And I think that a lot of that comes from sometimes when you are displaced or you don't know what home is like. And when you get to feel it, you try to replicate it again and again so that others can enjoy it. So, yeah. Uncle Clifford, yeah. I look at her like she's a little gatekeeper, right?
Yeah. What's the biggest challenge in playing her?
Aside from the heels, the biggest challenge, staying open. The biggest challenge, I don't know. Sometimes people don't know how to take you. They don't know how to receive you. Some people, whether they are male or female, or if they're gender conforming or non-binary themselves, everyone has a different response. So there is no, I grew accustomed to not having one thing, one way that people respond, whether that's, oh my gosh, you look fabulous, or you kind of make me nervous, or wait, I'm intrigued by you, I'm kind of attracted to you, I don't know what to do. You get all of those things, and all of those things are fine as long as, again, you're meeting Uncle Clifford with that respect. Because for me, as an actor, I think about becoming Uncle Clifford as the visions that I have seen in the world of real people who walk in a non-binary or non-gender conforming experience. And I wanted to, as an actor, I wanted to bring that to life. I wanted to bring the vulnerability. I wanted to bring the things that you don't see on the street, the things that you don't see in the club, you know. It's one of the beautiful things to me about the piece, because the Pynk itself is the protagonist of the story, you know, because everything is revolving around this club and coming through and through there. So to be able to stand in that space of, let's go here, let's go there, and you can see their lives outside of just the pole, you know. So I think about it like that.
Yeah. How do you think Uncle Clifford has been received as a character?
Well, listen, it's been it's been a lot. It's been a lot, and overall, I really will say it feels like Thanksgiving dinner. You know, it feels like people have thrown their arms open. I think a lot of that speaks to the times that we are in. I think that when I was 12 years old, I didn't imagine this. I could not have imagined this moment right here. So I'm literally standing in blessed and fertile ground. So it has been all love from my people, from the community that sometimes people say or perpetuate, you know, homophobic tendencies. It really has been a lot of love. I've witnessed personally a lot of transformation in people's hearts. And that's without the critics. That's without the Hollywood, the lights and the shining. You know, it's really interesting, the social media, how people are able, you know, we have access to people. So the stories, the testimonies that have been coming my way have really been great. And to feel that affected change in a real way, in a tangible way, it is so fulfilling. And then you add on top of that, oh, the Hollywood Reporter says this. Oh, Rolling Stone says that. And it's like, holy snap. Okay. I was just trying to tell the truth. Here we go. So, yeah. I couldn't be more happy, to be honest.
Yeah, and that, I guess, is sort of in some ways a big thing. Like for people to have more empathy for people with different life experiences and perspectives from themselves, it is helpful to have characters on television and in film that can give them a window into those different perspectives and lives.
Yeah, come on, Matt. Speak it. Yeah, come on. Let me say, you find out you going to the Baptist church over there? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I guess, like, was as you growing up, was there a particular character or performance that gave you a different perspective or a different empathy that you hadn't felt before, or something like that? Or even today, doesn't have to be growing up.
I would say growing up, you know, there's an actor, Meshach Taylor, who comes to my mind. And I remember being in, I'm maybe beginning of college or high school. I don't remember, somewhere in that age. And it was with him and Kim Cattrall in the movie Mannequin. And he played the character Hollywood, and Hollywood was very gregarious and big and fashion with the glasses that had cat eyes, rhinestones. It was all of these things. And I remember I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. This is gay guy, you know, and he's chocolate like me, you know, on TV. You know, that was a really big thing. But I also thought about the times where, even as a gay child, that, you know, I would be on the outskirts, whether that was when it came to homecoming or prom, like the school dances and things like that. It was like, oh, I wanted to take a boy, or I wanted to dance with a guy, and that didn't happen. So I thought about what I saw, but I felt what I didn't see. So when I had this opportunity, and honestly, I really have been very blessed in my career on film and TV to be able to play a range of roles that are on the LGBTQ plus spectrum. That is not something that I intended. I was raised and I was trained in a time when they were like, in order to get a job, you got to play straight. You got to take some of that sass away, or take some of this away. And it was like, okay. Even when I trained at Purchase, I trained at the conservatory at Purchase, and that was a big thing that happened like sophomore year. And I was just like, but I actually was just doing what the director directed me to do. I was 18 years old, and you're so malleable. But I'm grateful that I had a knowing of self to be able to have that. So seeing images like that, it let me know it's possible. It's possible. I'm not the first, I won't be the last, but I'm gonna hold the door open for somebody else coming behind me. So
yeah.
yeah.
What's with P-Valley, what do you think is like, and you've touched on some of this a bit earlier, but like, what do you think is an important lesson from that show? Like, what's something that you have learnt from making that show and from working on it?
I would say definitely, if you just take the concept of the show, it being in a strip club, and you take the concept of the pole, the creator of the show and showrunner, Katori Hall, she always talks about the pole being a metaphor, and sometimes for life, a metaphor for life, and sometimes rising feels like falling, and falling feels like rising, and that would definitely be something that I take. I think it's really cool that we have trap music, we have this hip hop culture, and the sounds, the music of the show. And some people, they're bobbing their heads to it, they're dancing to it. But in actuality, when you really listen to it, it scores the story. It scores the story and the underbelly of all of our characters and the moments. Nothing in this show is arbitrary. And that's kind of how I look at life, So yeah, that's a short answer.
Yeah, that's a good one. What do you think? What was the most fun or exciting scene for you to film from season 1?
Oh, okay. I have a couple. Definitely the dance scenes when we are performing in the club are always everything. They are truly epic because I love, especially in retrospect, when I'm seeing where the camera was and how it captured the dancing. I also feel that it really feels like a club. Like when we were filming, we weren't going out to the clubs. We weren't really hanging out and stuff like that because it was like we were in the club all day. Yeah. So it was like, you would think that we would be turning up in the club, like in filming and stuff like that, but we weren't, because it was like, okay, I'm tired. I'm tired of loud music. I'm tired of, having all the glitz and the glam on. You just kind of want to have like a hoodie and some sweatpants. So those are always good. But I will also say, getting to work with veterans like Loretta Devine. She is someone, as an actor, that I have admired her work for so long. And I love working with generations. I like working with younger people, like with kids, and I like working with my elders. And I felt like getting to work with her in that space was, it was really, really, really a gift, and something that I was like, oh my God, we get to tell this story, so yeah.
Yeah. The we by the way, we are I'm meant to be talking with Brandy tomorrow. Do you have any good questions for her or anything I should ask?
Ask Brandy, what do you do when your heels break?
Okay. I will ask
If your
her that.
heel breaks, because sometimes that happens a lot of times, to women. You wearing a heel, and if a heel breaks, ask her, what do you do? What do you do?
Yeah. Have you while shooting the show, have you had any heels break?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Come on.
What do you do? What do
Baby, you keep on pumping. You
you
keep on stepping. As you say, the
Yeah.
show must go on. The
Yeah.
show must go on. So yeah.
Mm.
And like you could also ask her, like, what's rule 55.99?
Yeah. Rule
Matt, do
50.
you know what rule 55.99 is?
I can't remember. I'm sorry. What is
Come on, come on, come on. I know you have twerked a time or two before, haven't you?
back in the day. Back in the day. Not at all.
You got to bring that forward. You got to bring that forward, brother. You can't
Yeah.
have your life this born in the quarantine and no twerking.
Okay, I'll get my twerk on later today.
Yes. The answer to that is that even when it ain't no money raining,
Yeah.
you dance like it's your last night. Dance like it's your
it.
last night.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? What was there a particularly hard scene for you to film on the show?
A lot of scenes are very challenging. The metronome and the rhythm of the world of Chucalissa is, and in the South in general, there's a musicality to the language, and there are times where you are in a very deep and an emotional state of being, but sometimes there is something that comes out, and the way that it comes out can be kind of humorous, right? But that humor comes from a level of relatability. And I find that just like a lot of oppressed people, sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying. And balancing those two are always, it's a tricky sauce, always having a little heat and a little sweet. One scene that was very difficult to shoot, I'm going to say, it's the prayer scene in episode 7. And it's literally the closing. It's us, me and the girls and the boys, because you got Big L and Diamond and DJ Never Scared in there, before our last night, and we're going to a funeral for the Pynk, the following day when the club is going to be sold. And to see all of their faces, the feeling of the weight to me of, if this club closes, what are all of these people going to do? That emotional preparation and the weight of that, and carrying it the entire season, it was really big. But at the same time, mama and daddy, you can't let your kids see you cry. You want to give them the strength. You want to endow them with the strength to, be strong and go out here and dance like it's their last night, even if it ain't no money raining, right? So that scene was really hard, on top of it being a 7-page monologue.
Yeah. Well, Nicco, thank you so much for talking to us today about PValley. Apologies for using the wrong pronoun to describe your character at the beginning of the interview.
Oh, Matt, let me tell you something.
Yep.
Apology accepted, but I will tell you this. To any person, I think it's about just understanding, asking, what do you want to be called?
Yeah.
How do you identify? I think that we are in the season where asking those questions is okay. That's the entire point of this. That is the entire point, to have that more empathy and consideration for one another. And you did it. I'm not offended. And I'm sure anyone else that's watching this is not offended. They're actually probably educated and enlightened.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
There you go. And
Come
all
on,
the
Gold
best,
Derby.
Yeah. All the best of luck with the upcoming all the best of luck with upcoming awards for PValley. We've got Golden Globe, Screen Actors Guild, all that stuff down the pipeline. As you have said, it's all possible. It's possible. Yeah. And continue to dance like it's your last night.
Hey, shine bright like a diamond.
Love it. Thanks, Nicco. So all the best.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good talking with you.